in Saquon's return to MetLife. Divorce has gone well for Saquon. For the Giants, not so much. Here's Saquon on his return to New York.
I said I don't expect to get booed, and I was meaning more of like it's the game is this rivalry is so much bigger than what happened in the offseason between me and the Giants or Hard Knocks. Like, this has been going on for a very long time. So I've been on the other side, and I know how Giants fans feel. So I don't know what the environment's going to be like, but I'm excited.
Okay, here's how Saquon has done compared to all of the Giants' running backs. I would give that to Saquon. So, Brewer, are you expecting a monster revenge game for Saquon here?
Well, first, I don't expect him to get booed. Now, they might boo him during, because, one, he was such a high character guy in New York. The team, it was just a bad run for the team. And I think the fans understand the Giants should have paid him instead of Daniel Jones. And the money obviously wasn't even equal. So I think the fans feel like you kept the wrong guy. All right, we should have Saquon. So, and I think if the Giants were better and really like competing for something, maybe then they might boo him. But I just think he won't get booed. Not before the game. Maybe during the game, once it gets going, they'll boo whatever Philadelphia does well. But to answer your question, yeah, I expect a big game because I think he had a bad game against Cleveland or didn't do much against Cleveland. But the other 4 games, he's been great outside of the drop against Atlanta. And so I think he's going to play well, but I also think Philadelphia's going to go out of its way to kind of try to help him play well within winning the game. Sirianni, that seems like his personality to try to get him going. I think the players really like Saquon, so they're going to try to get him going. So if they can, they're going to get him a few touchdowns. So I do think he'll play big, Coach.
Yeah, I would imagine he's going to get booed. I don't think the Giants fans are that nice. I mean, maybe they are that nice, but he's still a Philadelphia Eagle at the end of the day, and so I'd imagine that'll happen. In terms of his production, he's got the best average that he's had better than his rookie season. But you're right, last week against Cleveland, he averaged 2.6 yards a carry, which is his worst game so far. And Saquon's game is typically the 100-yard games are punctuated by one big run. There's a little bit of Breece Hall in that mix, in the sense that there's usually a big run and then a bunch of kind of middle of the pack runs. I'm not sure how Philly's going to approach it in terms of trying to push the ball to him. They're in a position where they just need to figure out how to score.
That's right.
And they've got to score in the first quarter. They've got to get rid of that monkey that's on their back. And they also got both of their star receivers back last week. They're going to want their touches. So I would imagine they'll respect the fact that this is personal to Saquon, but above everything else, got a way to score some points.
Yeah, they're not a good enough team or in a strong enough position to be able to kind of go style points, if you will. Now, listen, I obviously was too pessimistic about Saquon's impact, or ability to consistently be a high-level player. In the offseason, I said I didn't think this was a significant move for Philadelphia. He, prior to the Cleveland game, had been the best player on their offense, bar none. And the Cleveland game was one game. I actually, though, think it's going to play out similar motivations, but in the opposite, which is I think the Giants coaching staff knows, you know what it will infuriate our owner? If Saquon Barkley comes here and cooks us.
Yeah.
We saw the owner on Hard Knocks being upset about it. And so I actually think this could lead to a huge A.J. Brown game or something. I think the Giants' defensive game plan is going to be anyone but him. Anyone but Saquon. Dare Jalen Hurts to beat us, whatever it is, because I just think it is going to be such a stinging indictment. And that whole regime is hanging by a thread, Wilds, that if Saquon comes in there and has multiple touchdowns or a huge game, it just reminded me enough of coaches. Woody Johnson gets embarrassed in England and people take. Saquon comes back to MetLife and beats you. That's a tough spot, man.
It won't be great for him.
Yeah. Don't let Saquon go and sit in your office.
And average.
A great player is
average.
He's a great player on my team.
Pretty good. You know, that's what you look.
Early game in London. Drake May makes his second career start when the Patriots take on Trevor and the Jags. Here's Trevor on the rookie. Take a listen.
I've met Drake before. I like him. I think he's got a lot of talent. He's got a bright future. I know what it's like to be obviously a young quarterback in this league not too long ago, and I wish him the best. It's a challenge, and every week is a learning opportunity, and you just have to use it to make you better moving forward. And that's even still going on my 4th year. I'm still doing that. You learn something new every week, and it's challenging, and I think he's got all the tools to be successful.
Okay, so let me take you behind the curtain. The question that we were about to ask was in the document, and I thought you were going to jettison this thing out of there and say it's insulting and we shouldn't do it. But you saw it and just went quiet on the call. Would you rather have Drake May or the Prince moving forward?
Why are you asking me? You put it in.
I did not put this in.
It just keeps getting worse.
Let me make this clear, because I'll answer the question. But let me make this clear, America. Wilds, our producers, even our bosses have explained to us the downside of our seeming obsession with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
They
and
showed
Trevor
us
Lawrence.
data.
They
Stop
showed us
talking.
data. They were like, hey guys, here's people watching the show, and then here's what happens when you do this. And
we didn't care.
We didn't care.
No.
We didn't care.
Bad decision.
It did not care. And then when the Jags season went totally awry, everyone said, all right, now it's kind of a win-win for everyone. Like, we don't have to talk about this team that the audience doesn't like us talking about, and Nick, you don't have to defend him anymore. He's not on the show. So I was like, listen, whatever you guys say, Wild's the leader of the show. And then he puts this nonsense in there, knowing, Brew, here's the problem.
Great question.
Brew, here's the problem.
My answer, avoiding it.
I'm not avoiding it.
2 minutes.
I am painting a picture.
He's running the clock out.
Right.
My answer, obviously, in a vacuum, is Trevor Lawrence. The problem is, and Wilds knows this, is because I'm Mr. Consistency, I must weigh a guy who's making $55 million versus a guy on a rookie contract. And that makes it too close to call. So you go. Like I was just telling you.
Well, look, I'm going to take you behind the curtain.
Oh, God.
Nick said yesterday, he said he was empathetic. I think people have questioned that, but I'm empathetic, and I feel bad for Trevor.
I do too.
He has been dropped like a bad habit by Nick on national TV.
You guys made me do it.
No, we didn't mean you created
Trevor trash
the same trumpeters you use for Trevor now you use for Caleb.
Well, they're
and
the only
even better
ones available in the city.
I've actually toyed with the idea.
What?
Of making Trevor my guy. I've toyed with that idea.
That is very kind of you.
Yeah, I feel bad for the guy.
And then you realize you called him the weak link for years.
Well, I thought I was motivating him, but and you're right, the money, obviously the money, you take Drake May, because he doesn't have a 5 years, $275 million.
You wanted to see more classic one by you. You wanted to see more before giving him his contract.
Yes, absolutely.
You never
Would have
did credit for
waited.
that take.
Here, Nick, I'm going to say this. I got to say this.
I want to stab you.
Drake May threw for 3 touchdowns against a very good Houston Texans defense in his first game. Trevor Lawrence hasn't thrown for 3 touchdowns in his last 9 games. He's thrown for 3 touchdowns once in his last 25 regular season starts.
Yikes, I didn't know that.
Trevor Lawrence, this is his best year. Okay. Look at Trevor Lawrence's best season. Here we go. And it's a blind reveal.
We
Nick
all
probably
know
knows.
who the other guy
That's his
is.
best
Russell
year.
Wilson.
Who's the blind?
You use the Russell
I'm just saying, Russell Wilson's worst year. Nick, totally correct. Second worst. His second worst year. That's Russell Wilson's last year. Trevor Lawrence would die for those numbers.
And then
98 pass rate. Trevor Lawrence is like, my gosh, they cut him. They cut him? What are they thinking?
Trevor, $250 million.
Right. Yeah, I mean, give me Drake May. I know it's early.
answer.
I know it's early, but give me Drake May. I have no idea what Drake May's going to be.
I don't know.
Coach, if you dare take the quarterback who's played one game after everything you're built on.
Absolutely. I'm going with Trevor Lawrence.
Thank you.
Drake May, to me, gives me early Sam Darnold vibes. I've said that over.
Oh, undefeated Sam Darnold?
Well, yeah,
no.
Sam did actually look
Early
good in his
Sam
first
Darnold
game.
vibes.
So, yeah.
So, yeah,
sure.
and look, Trevor's shown that he can win in the league. It's unfortunate
playoff
where he is right now.
Thank you.
If I had to draft a team right now outside of the
With
money,
the- but the
I wasn't
money's-
taking the money part
money's a
into
part-
Don't
consideration.
do it.
Money is a
So,
part of it.
I would take.
Coach, you're going to have to wear the wig. That's punishment for a horrible
I don't
answer.
like him that much.
That was, Coach, great job.
Here's Amari on Josh.